Okay, so we're starting a recording because it's October 29th, and we're in typography, and I want to just follow the format for the class one more time. Whenever we have critiques and we finalize a project, we always print everything because our critiques are not on computer giving feedback for our projects. They need to be printed and trimmed and presented. Today we're reviewing the restaurant menu, which is due to be uploaded today. It will be critiqued, your physical menu, today. And if you wish to improve it and upload a second full and complete PDF, not just the revised artwork, but a full and complete PDF with any revisions, you would have 2 PDFs uploaded to Canvas, and they would be a more extensive revised PDF of the menu. Hi, Juan. And so today we're reviewing the restaurant menu. Today I will introduce the book cover to you, which you will have 3 weeks to complete. And every project will always get interviewed in class. You will have benchmarks again for your process for your publication. The book cover design, what was due was design, archive, inspiration, uploads for different book covers that were type-only book covers. That was due. Those, I believe, have all been graded if they were submitted. And you have only 2 more projects after this restaurant menu. You have the restaurant menu today. The next project you have is a book cover design, which is a dust jacket. We'll review it. And then your last project for the class, not your final project, but your last project is designing a typeface and using that typeface in a poster that's appropriate, with a quote that's appropriate for the design of your typeface. And that is the last project. I think you have 1 or 2 weeks actually to complete the last project. It's the way it works out. But right now, what we will also do today is we will review the type publication final project that we've talked about every single week we meet for your layouts. I can't tell you all enough how much your grade is weighted. Like your projects, let's say, are worth, I think it turns out that your projects are worth about 10% of your grade, each project. And because there's so few. And then your discussions and your quizzes, your discussions being your archives, and our class discussions, and your quizzes have a portion of your grade. But I think your final publication book might be a good 25% of your grade. So imagine if it doesn't rock the world, or you got a 0 on it, and you got an A on everything else, 100%, you'd still get a C in the class. So if that gives you perspective, we can look at it. I'll pull it up, and you can see how everything lays out for your grade and the weight of your grades. Your projects are the biggest weight, and your final book is your biggest weight. All the design archives that you upload for yourself for your own research, and our discussions and your quizzes and the kerning exercise and all those exercises, they enhance your grade. They can make or break it by a single grade. If you don't attend class, you can't participate in class, which would definitely weight your grade. I mean, I think around midterms you all start to worry about your grades, I think, is the impression I get. Is that fair to say? Okay. That's why I want to be clear about this. And I'll pull it up, not having it in front of us to talk about it, but you can look. It's on the syllabus. But it tells you if you rock the world with your projects and you attend class and participate in discussions and you rock the world with your type publication, you're taking the biggest bulk of your grade, and you're weighting it the best. All the other stuff, obviously, I see you guys turn in your kerning exercises and some of you get 100% on it, which was insane. and some of you get 70% on it, but when you turn it in, no matter what, you're still getting 100% grade. Y'all probably notice that. I'm not giving you the grade that you got on that kerning exercise. It's because it's an exercise. It's one for you to learn some skills, to gain some ground, hopefully have a little fun with it and enjoy it, and learn something, learn the concept. So I'm not gonna, that's why you get 100%, right? It's pretty across the board. Yeah, Mia.
So I just want to clarify, like, by today, we need to have the full-blown menu done, that one discussion thing to do with the book, that's the final, and then we need to begin our book dust jacket. That's all that's due tonight, like by, there's no exercise. I thought I saw an exercise.
There probably is.
Okay.
I don't have them memorized in my head.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
I just wanted to like.
Yeah, and we'll pull it up in the screen and we'll go over it today on deadlines because it's all in Canvas.
I don't know why, but I was very unclear about all of the deadlines now, so, yeah.
But you're not now,
Yeah, no.
based on what you just said. Yeah, Chris. Oh, yeah, you can see it up there. Yep, you're right. Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so annoying. Switch over.
This way.
There you go. That's annoying. Okay, so everybody clear with the format of the class and how it unfolds? All right. Okay, so we are continuing our class of Monday, October 29th. And right now we are going to clarify the next assignment. So the next assignment we're introducing today is the book jacket design, right here. And let me introduce that. Let's stay on one topic for starters. And like everything, oh my gosh, we're going to play this next week because it's just brilliant. Let's see how long this is. I forget how long this is. What was it, like 15 minutes? It's going to use up all our class. We'll play this next week. It's brilliant.
I'll link it in the archive.
Okay. This video is worth watching and talking about, and if you want to watch it on your own, do, because it's very captivating. But what we're doing right here is a book jacket design, and like everything else, there's 3 parts to your design brief right here, so it's a 3-week project. You're going to come into class right here by selecting a book, writing a synopsis of the book, finding the author, the ISBN number. On the back of every book you purchase, there's an ISBN number, which is how it's listed in the Library of Congress, and a UPC code for what they scan when you buy things. Okay? And as you design the book jacket, you will include and have space for the ISBN number and the UPC code on the back. But for starters, for next week, you're going to choose your book. You're going to find previous covers of your book. You're going to critique those previous covers of your book and talk about why you think that cover is poorly designed and or that you like it, for example, but give feedback on what you think about the cover design. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to design a book jacket, and the size of the book jacket is up to you. What I would do is go find a hardbound book on your shelf and design a cover that you can wrap your book jacket on, so when you print your cover, you can wrap it around this book and it fits perfectly. Karina?
So right now we're going to be doing week 1.
Yes.
I did it all like the whole 3 weeks because
Right.
I thought it was for
I understand.
today.
Yes, you're doing week 1, so you'll have a lot of time now to work on your type publication. Right? You're ahead of the game. You're creating a book jacket cover, which means you're going to take a piece of paper. I mean, this is a book dust jacket right here. Thank God it's here. So this is a dust jacket. You're going to design the cover, the spine. You're going to have to measure the spine. You're going to measure the back and the inside and the outside flaps. Yes. Did you do it?
Yeah, but my printer. I don't know why it doesn't like go all the way.
That's pretty bigger.
No, like I tried the actual size, it doesn't like do it, so I have to print it.
Good. Okay. There you go. Exactly what you're supposed to do. And you can print it on an 11/17 sheet, or you can tile it so you have the full thing. Elliot, want to hold yours up too? Elliot's got a dust jacket. He's got his flaps. He's got his spine. We measure the book. Now, Karina has a ISBN code on the back. This is what they look like. Those codes, you're all familiar with it. You got it too there, Elliot? And then also include a UPC code, both of them. All right. Now, the instructions for the cover design are to use type only. You can manipulate the type. You know, I would say that a lot of you found incredibly beautiful type only book cover designs where type was used to create the mood of the book. And because you all found such beautiful examples of how to use type to create a cover design, I want to hold the bar high, that high, for that kind of standard for your cover design. So to take this one, which is really simple, how to drink, for example, where the type is just a font and then they've taken the O's to make the bubbles like in champagne. I mean, that's a type only design. But these are pretty ordinary covers where, for example, this Upton Sinclair type only cover is really kind of beautiful. You can manipulate your type however you wish. A lot of you had type that was three-dimensional in examples. A lot of you had type that created the illusion of dimensionality. You can make your type move and flow, and you all found such great inspiration. I don't want to tell you what to do with it, but what I think is incredibly important for you is to definitely understand what your book's about, and your cover should communicate that. So if your cover is about, if your book cover design is for Dracula, some of you had examples, I think, for a Dracula book, I'm not sure, but consider what your color palette might be, how you use type to create that. And then, like everything you've done already, your design brief is going to be your brainstorming, your mood board, your colors, considerations. You're going to have to think more thoroughly about what you want to do with your dust jackets. You do not need a photo of the author there. Like I said, you can manipulate type. You can think of special effects. If it's, let's say your book cover is about a book about losing money, and you decide to do something clever like you've done with your menus where you create a hole in the book cover, like your money's gone through the hole in your pocket or something like that. You can have special die cuts or special finishing techniques to your book cover. You are unlimited in your options for it. Make sure that your flaps allow you ways of handling enough information in a strong way. Consider that when you look at your book covers, you're looking at it from the front, but mostly you're going to look at a book from its spine, right? I think one of you even had examples of books that had a series. Actually, watch this video. This guy will show you different ways of designing books, and we'll start our class with it next week, this video. Consider how it looks on a shelf in the spine. Go to Barnes & Noble, go to any bookstore if you can find one, and think about how it stands out. And then the other part is, no, this is paid advertising in the back of a book jacket. To leave it blank is kind of sacrilegious. I do think of my book cover designs, my book cover titles, for example, as logos, for example. So if this is what the title looks like, let's say, or that's what the title looks like, I think the title should show up again on the spine and certainly the author often the publisher, but also on the back, whatever iconic look you have, kind of like, let's call it a logo type for your book cover, would show up on the back. And then on the back, you might have a synopsis of your book, or you might have remarkable quotes from famous people about your book. Don't forget that you can create emphasis and readability by bolding type, by italicizing it, by changing the scale of it. Again, here there are, I don't know whose I'm going to look at now, but here's Alice in Wonderland book, and then here's the critique of it, and here's the reviews and the synopsis, and again, capturing the color palette. You know this process. This is familiar. I'm not going to spend a lot of time. And play with type, and you could create your own type if you want. You know, if Alice in Wonderland goes down the rabbit hole, maybe her type is going down a hole. Here's type covers, here's sketches. Again, consider all the sketches and ways of handling type. Use your sketches for you to really think through the placement of your text and the scale and proportion. I think the student did so many cover designs. It's really an excellent example. You don't, like I said, you don't need the author's photo. Look at the use of color here. Look at the use of a drop cap here. Look at how type gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, how it goes down the rabbit hole and creates a distance. You could pull a quote from the book. You can change a lot, right? A lot of ideas. You can change the scale and proportion of the type. Like I said, you can manipulate the type. Here's a whole bunch of different approaches. This is screen captures, obviously, because you can see the grid alignment. I don't want to make this too long. Since we demoed how to make different page sizes, I think 2 weeks ago when we were working on the menu, I will demo really fast for you how to do your page and your flaps. It's the same thing. Basically, this is a 5-page layout. That's 1 page size. The back page is the same size as the cover. This flap is the same as page 1 here. And the spine, you measure the depth of the spine of the book you want to wrap it around. Elliot, I know you're done with yours. No graphics as part of your cover design. So you know, you can turn type into graphics, no problem. Work with different color palettes. Notice here on this one, here's a quote by different authors talking about the book. And the quote here, curiouser and curiouser. And then there's an attribution to who wrote the quote, okay? And when you look at the ideas that students have shared, besides the research you've done for yourself on these book covers, you'll start to see what is most successful. Show it in context again, whichever one you're going to work with. When you are totally done with your book cover, you're going to show it on a coffee table. You're going to show it on a bookshelf next to other books, so we see the spine. You're going to see it in use. You want to see the book cover of all different angles. And you can always tile it. So Karina printed hers, and for some reason her pages weren't printing right. When you print your pages, you'll print them as a spread, which is probably what Elliot did. Elliot, did you set yours up as separate pages? Or one big spread?
Yeah, it was
One big spread. I think it's easier when you do separate pages and then print them as a spread, because that way you're able to build in margins for yourself. Sometimes the setup's a little faster. So go through the student examples here. I just want to send you off with a beginning. The further along you get on this, of course, Karina's like going to sit back and relax a little bit, or you might want to change what you're not pleased with. If you bring in, like Elliot, if you bring in yours next week and you bring in yours next week because you're done, and Mia said she was done, I think, we can critique yours and you can improve them, because then you'll have time to improve them. Okay? So I'm not being very specific here because every piece of information is here for the book cover. Use quotes from the book. Consider what the mood of the book is about.
pick a book you love and you've read and you know intimately, because then you're going to create something that is a good reflection of the content. Okay. I know that's a fast overview, but next week come in with as far along as you can, and we'll share that in the design briefs. But the part that I want to clarify for Mia and for Audrey, who I think I was getting confusing, is, you got it now, which is this right here with the double exclamation points right here. The type publication is that final project, this one, the big one, right? And you guys should be way far down the road. So Mia, if you are done with yours or pretty close, bring it in and we'll critique it, all right? But by next week, right now, today, I think we had 3 or 4 of you who've already uploaded to this discussion board here. Here you are. There you go. Everybody should be uploaded. If you're not, it's nothing bad will befall you, okay? But it's a disadvantage to you because I am hoping that you find the critiques valuable, and you're going to want this critiqued as far in advance as possible. There's also, let's see, next week is November 8th, 5th. Oh, it's your birthday? Well, happy birthday. The following week for your birthday present on November 12th is Veterans Day, and school does not meet for any class on Veterans Day. So we lose another day of class. And if you remember when we looked at our calendar for class, when you should be sending off these type publication books, you're going to send them off before Thanksgiving for printing. So what that really means is when you come in, if you miss the 12th, and then that puts us at the 19th, that's probably when you're sending your type publication book for print. So if that doesn't get your body filled with anxiety, right? Just that you want to have it ready to go to send off to Blurb or MagCloud or go to that printer down in Carpinteria, you're going to want to jumpstart on it because although the deadlines, I agree, were confusing for the type jacket, note that there is an immovable deadline right here. Where is it? Assignment. Here. This December 3rd is an immovable deadline for your type publication upload where it will have been printed, you will have received it, you will have photographed it, you will have added photographs of it, and you will have uploaded the PDF and your photographs, and that's the final day. And there's no late work on your final publication, none, 0. If it's not uploaded, literally the window on that thing slams shut, and that's the end of that. And when you come into class, what you do on the 3rd is you hand me your printed book. I take it home. I grade it. You come back the following week of finals, which is whatever that following Monday is, the 10th. And we share our books. That's your final. We share our books. And you'll have known your grade by then. Okay? And you'll receive your book back on the final day of class, finals week. Does that make sense? So everybody's clear about it? All right. So that's why it has to be in my hands so I can take it and grade it to give it back to you on the 10th. The advantage of this is you're jamming things now. You're working really hard now. I know you are. But what it really does is it gives you breathing space for other classes, for your finals, because you're done with all your really heavy-duty stuff in here. Okay? Does that help? Yes, Mia?
Can you remind me the exact date we have to have them sent to the
No, I do not know. I cannot tell you. What you'll have to do is you'll have to go to Blurb right here when you type publications. MagCloud or Blurb, I suggest, are great places for printing your book. Christian, who works at FedEx Kinko's, no, did I get it wrong? Andreas, who works at FedEx Kinko's, sorry. I mixed you guys up. I'm sorry. You're both wearing gray sweatshirts today. You're killing me, okay? Anyway, so you might want yours printed at FedEx Kinko's, but you won't get yours perfect bound there. I don't think you guys do perfect binding, do you? No. And the difference is really a significant difference. If you want your saddle stitched, you do saddle stitching there. Right. And I imagine you get a really good price on it there. So it might be what you choose. So that you might not have to worry about MagCloud or Blurb or the print shop down in Carpinteria. But what I would do, Mia, is go to this website. When you build your book, did you download their template for it?
I finished the dust jacket, the book dust jacket.
Oh, you didn't finish your
Not
type
the-
publication.
not
Okay. So go to Blurb, go download their templates, go download, here's a template here they'll give you. You can download InDesign templates to work with. You're going to have to go on this website as you would for a client and learn how to download the template. They'll give you an InDesign set of preferences. You download it to computer. You have to decide the size of book you wish to make. They'll tell you the sizes. They'll tell you what they cost. They'll tell you different print options. They'll tell you different paper weights, which we talked about previously. Okay, so you got to go here and kind of do your homework. You can get a book that's hardbound with a dust jacket. You design the dust jacket. You can get a book right here, which is called something wrap. I forget what it's called. Image wrap. And then you can get a book that is basically paperback with a heavier cover and perfect binding. It's your choice. Different prices. It's all about money. And you can also saddle stitch it, which is like a magazine with staples. Okay, does that help all of you? So, like I said, your world will not crumble if you have not uploaded to the discussion board. Where's the discussion board for this? Our conversation about, this publication, get feedback, but I think it's going to put you at a disadvantage. I think you'd rather have feedback sooner than later. Okay? Everybody clear? Any questions? Okay, we will see you then next week. Okay, thank you all.